Then we're going to get down here. Sure, it's good. Better intro this time? That's it.
Give them one for. Show them how it's done.
Yeah, what's up? All right, hey guys, thanks for tuning into the second episode of Unfinished.
Which has a name now.
Yeah, we named it. We named it.
Name?
I didn't consult you on the name, by the way.
I like it.
But it kind of felt right.
Yeah.
But awesome. Yeah, so the last episode we talked about, like, how the heck did we get here?
Yes.
Kind of thing. And one of the parts of even us starting this conversation was, hey, maybe we'll talk about some of the stuff that we mentioned on Sunday at church while we're teaching, and kind of figure it out from there, kind of roll from there. Because there's always, so you know this as a songwriter, like it's not such a different process from like if I'm writing a sermon. I'm essentially doing a book report on the same book every single week. Like it never
Does that get?
It never changes.
Does it get hard? Like, do you ever think about? I already kind of used that bit, or is it because so much intersects and flows into itself? Does that become useful and helpful, or does that become a challenge?
Yeah, there's two ways you can look at it. You can either be like, wow, the Bible's weird, or you could be like, it's alive.
Yeah.
Like it keeps talking. The part of the thing that goes through my head sometimes isn't that, I've already talked about this. I used to, when I first got started, I was worried about that, of course. Like, because you're just, for the most part, you're just copycatting other people, you know? Like when you first start playing music, you just play covers.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you first get started,
no, I wrote really good songs.
Yeah, right.
That were just like a 6-year-old's version of Earth song by Michael Jackson, which my dad does have attached to his wall at his work.
Nice. Yeah, so
rewritten one of the greatest songs in human history, just improved with the vocabulary of a 6-year-old.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think I'd be embarrassed to see some of the first sermons that I wrote. But yeah, at first you were worried about, man, I'm worried that I might say this thing again. And then you just realize that, like, well, I'm just quoting what this says again. Like, there's actually...
It said it twice, I can.
Yeah, there's actually some pretty consistent through lines through the entire book. And you're like, well, why does it keep on repeating it? And it's like, well, because obviously I've nailed it. I've
seen that graphic where it's like all of the all of the connections. It's insane.
Yeah, all the cross references for everything. But yeah, there's some pretty consistent through lines all the way through the book, and it repeats itself over and over and over again because you don't catch it the first time, the 10th time, the 100th time. I'm a little bit further down the road than I was when I got started, but if you want to try to compare me to perfect, like we got a long way to go, bud.
It's Route 40. We're on the road.
Yeah. It's a long one.
We're in Missouri right now.
Brother, I've been in the ditch a few times.
California's a long way away.
Yeah. So
have you ever had, or do you ever have the thing where, you know, you're writing a sermon on something you've done before, and have you thought back on sermons from the past and like, wow, I had that so wrong?
Oh, I consistently reserve the right to disagree with myself.
Yeah.
Like I've read passages, and as I'm reading it and writing, I'm going, wait a minute. Or I'll look back on something I've written and I'll be like, that's not just wrong. Like, if this was a different time, you'd be in big trouble for saying that. But like, yeah. So yeah, you figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
But well, that's one of the interesting things about just like growing in your faith anyways, is as you grow and develop, there's ideas that you hold on to so strongly, and then you realize, well, maybe that was just really important for me to hold on to then.
Yeah.
But it's not that like, oh, I'd never think about this anymore. But it's like, no, there's just other parts of me that are being worked on at the moment.
Yeah, it's like I was listening to something earlier. And it was someone, I forget his name, but it's the big giant guy on Instagram. He's very sweet and he's very knowledgeable. And he says,
The Lord's Giant?
yes,
That guy? Yeah.
yeah. And he like staged this scene, and it was essentially two people understanding the same verse or the same story in different ways. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that's part of it, where it's neither one's wrong. It's just the understanding's there for that person in that part of their life, because that's what the message is for them right now. And when they're in a different season, yeah, it means something different now.
Yeah.
But that's by design. It
Yeah.
wasn't a misunderstanding before.
Yeah.
It was relevant for then.
It's like, if you picked that version of me out and went, well, does this guy know everything? It's like, no, but he's really focusing on this right now,
Yeah.
and it's for a purpose.
This understanding now might
Yeah.
not have been helpful
Like,
for him.
yeah, he might. Am I heavy-handed on this issue at the moment? Yeah, but it's a process.
Yeah.
It'll even out. Like, and I certainly hope like that continues. Yeah. Like somebody asked me the other day, they were like, so like, how confident are you that what you believe is absolutely correct, like 100% true?
Which part of it?
Yeah, I said, well, wait. My first question was like, what part?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really certain about a few things.
Yeah.
And some other stuff, I'm pretty sure my mind's going to change about it. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be shocked if it does, because I would hope so. Also, like, dude, if you want to hang your hat on having the perfect right answer to everything, like, oh no, I'm 100% theologically correct. I know another guy who is 100% theologically correct, and that hasn't helped him at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure Satan knows a whole lot more about God than I do.
He knows it better than us.
Yeah, hadn't helped him a bit. So I don't think that's where you should hang your hat on. It's like, yeah, I know every single answer perfectly. Because I look back at, I even look back. If you're listening to this, I don't want you to think it was like it was like 15 years ago. It was like a couple years ago. I was like, well, that's wrong. That's definitely wrong. And
you taught them the thing.
Yeah, I said that, and you shouldn't believe that. It's one of those things of, as you grow and develop, and as you experience things. Like, I'll be honest with you, like my life, I think, has been extremely blessed. And yes, I've had troubles and hardships. But as you experience more painful things in life, you go, oh, okay. Like now I see this passage in a different light than I did before. Was I wrong before? Maybe not. But now this makes a lot more sense to me. And how that works itself out a lot of times is even how I see other people. Like, I remember when I was young and dumb and newly married for the first time, I thought anybody who got a divorce, it was like, well, what'd you do wrong? Like, what's your problem? What's the deal? Like, this isn't hard.
You should have picked a perfect one.
Yeah, it's not just
stupid.
Not just like your picker was off. It was like I was so naive as far as thinking like, oh yeah, well, like, yeah, marriage isn't that hard.
Yeah.
Bull crap, man. Like, go through some hard seasons. Like, go through a divorce, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, my opinion about that has changed completely. Not, well, what does Scripture say about it? It's like, no, how I see people, like, and how to bring the Scriptures to a person. Hey, this is actually what God says about it, instead of just being like, what's wrong with you? Like, it was bad. If you knew me when I was first getting started, you definitely wouldn't like me. You're still probably feeling me out now. but if you knew me when I first got started, bro, you would not like me at all. I wouldn't like me either. But it's just part of growing and learning. But yeah, like sermon writing is interesting. There is a creative process. I have some pretty solid source material that maybe you might not have when it comes to writing.
No, the guy you write about's way more reliable than the guy I write about.
Right. Yeah.
We're both just writing about one guy, which in my head I was like, I actually do see the intersect there because we both are just writing about one guy. Your guy's cooler.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. So my source material is pretty has some consistency to it.
Yeah.
Throughout time, but yeah, there's still like a process that you go through where, okay, like this is what it says. Because how we teach at Wellspring too is like, you don't really, if you're waiting to hear my opinion about something, that's stupid. You shouldn't. Like what I try to do, how we teach at Wellspring is we read a lot of scripture typically, and we pull out like, this is what this is saying in context with where we're at through this book, or at this point in Jesus' ministry, or this part of the redemptive history. This is where we're at. And so there's a term for it that probably people don't care about, but we just teach verse by verse. And this is what the scriptures say, because that's way more interesting than like my opinion about sex. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of churches out there, like they just try to get people's attention, and they'll be like, hey, I don't know why people are infatuated with what a pastor thinks about sex. I actually don't think people are interested in what a pastor thinks about sex. I think pastors are interested in their opinion about sex. And so
I think it's that
they'll do a series about sex, or they'll do a series about something that'll just get somebody's attention.
I imagine a lot of it is less about people actually caring about the opinion as much as they're interested in getting the pat on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I know a lot.
Told you I was right.
Yeah. I know a lot of pastors.
I was right. I was correct.
God bless them, but we are a egotistical bunch. Like we like our opinions. We like to be right. We like to be told, like, good job. We like to be told, like, hey, like exactly what you're saying. I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm more familiar with it than most because I'm right all the time. So there was except this one time where I thought I made a mistake, but
that just that once.
yeah, I didn't. I was wrong about that.
You were wrong about your mistake. Right.
I should have known better.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, but it's just part of the process, man. Yeah. And it's good, and I'm here for it. It's
interesting because it's, I think, outwardly and from our side of the stage, it's you teaching us things, where in reality it's more so you telling us about the lesson you had.
Yeah, make no mistake.
It's you did the learning. Yeah. We're just copying off your notes.
If you hear one of my sermons, it's either I learned this a terribly painful way, or I'm currently fighting believing this right now. I know that this is what's true, but I'm currently fighting believing that this is true.
I wonder if that goes into those other pastors who get real intense on whether the sex stuff or whatever it is, that they're really intensely doing their opinion thing. And I was like, maybe that isn't so much of this is my opinion and I'm right, and we're going to talk about why I'm right, and this intense thing, I'm going to get your attention. Maybe that is a reflection of like, why have you been studying that so hard?
Yeah.
Right now? Yeah. Is this an internal thing?
Methinks you protest too loudly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely projection. Well, and that's the thing, and you and I talked before.
Not necessarily a critique.
Yeah, you and I.
It was like, hey, clearly you're working on this, and I'm glad you're working on it because you're putting the time in.
Well, and part of the problem, so there's two things. Part of the problem is when you go to seminaries, when you,
on the last one that was on purpose, but that was
when you go there, they there is this sense of trying to build some sort of being authoritative.
Yeah.
And being authoritative means like, oh, I'm an expert in this, or I'm a professional in this. That is so stupid. If you're for some reason if you're in seminary or Bible college, or you're thinking about it, or you're in ministry, and for some reason you're watching this podcast, I don't know why you are, but if you are, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you are not a professional. I'm not a professional. Like, there are messages that I'm working through. Like, we're currently teaching through Romans, which, by the way, is hard. to do. Like, I'm 39. I'm glad I waited this long to attempt to teach verse by verse through Romans, because I've held some positions very strongly in the past that were it's stupid to hold on to that so tightly. But Romans is especially the first 11 chapters that we've been through. It's like the deep end of the pool, like theologically. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about that. And I'm glad I waited, honestly, to try to teach through something like that, because there are things that you can get very wrong and lead people in a very wrong direction. Doing that. And I was always afraid to teach through Romans, and I think that's for good reason.
There's got to be a lot of parts that carry that weight where it's like, you got to really make sure that you approach this right, because the potential for misguidance or misunderstanding is high.
Yeah. Well, and if you believe what's written in there, like I'm gonna have to answer for some of that.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I've said wrong, like do I think that I serve a God who's full of grace? Yeah, for sure. Do I read in the scriptures where it's like I'm going to be held accountable for the things that I teach other people? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the downside. You picked that. You picked that.
You picked that. You did it.
You also earlier mentioned we or us teaching. I just want to. I'm not a teacher because I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. We get
on February. No, I'm sorry.
You guys get judged way harsher on that, and I just want to make. I'm just singing songs of people.
on July 29th, 2026. That's what he says, but we'll see what happens.
If I say stuff, I'm not teaching you a lesson. If I happen to be right or it happens to be useful, that is a pleasant coincidence.
Yeah, we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, for right now, that's what it is. There's a couple things that like I try to put in my mind. So in the mornings when I wake up on Sundays, 'cause you do a ton of prep, like it's ridiculous. Typically, like if you're doing it right, I think it's about an hour worth of prep for every minute you're talking on Sunday morning. Unless you ramble. If you ramble or you're a storyteller, that doesn't count. But if you're really like exegeting, like really verse by verse teaching the scriptures, it's probably about an hour worth of work for every minute you're talking. And so there's a ton of work that goes into it beforehand, but I try to have a habit on Sunday mornings. I wake up like crazy early, 3:45, and I have a whole routine that I do. And one of the things that I always try to like settle in my mind and in my heart is that I want to teach as a dying man to dying men. Like this might be the last thing I ever get to say in front of people. And when you do that, a lot goes on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, well, maybe I won't talk about this, or maybe I won't address this right now. Like, because this might be the last time I ever get to get up and have this opportunity.
So good. That's so good. And I don't like that because that's putting different thoughts in my head. With so many things I phone in, I'm like, what if this is the last time I get to do it?
Yeah. This is, especially if it's something like this, like I get to open up God's word and I get to declare it to a group of people who have gathered together to say, yeah, we want to love one another and we want to follow Christ together. And this is this might be my last opportunity to address that.
End day starts tomorrow, and this is the one that
yeah. So it's
their
like
eternity weighs on.
Yeah, so it's like, okay,
no pressure.
I want to teach like a dying man to dying men.
Yeah, you kind of a throwaway one.
Yeah, you can't mail it in. You can't mail it in. And so I try to really put that type of space in my mind and in my heart. And I'm kind of weird. I'm not a green room guy. Like one reason is because Wellspring doesn't have a green room right now. We have a gymnasium, but some churches, like, they have a green room and the pastor will go hide in the green room for the most part. And then he comes out, like he appears mysteriously after the bumper video and then talks to everybody. And some guys do that because they need to stay locked in and focused. Yeah. Like, I'm just a strange animal where I don't want to do that at all. Like, I have my routine in the morning and I get everything locked away and I put it in this little box in my heart and I go, okay, now let's talk to people. Let's interact with everybody. Let's have conversations. Let's laugh, be normal. Let's be present for everyone and do what we can. And then when it's go time, it's like, okay, now let's open up this box and like let it out.
I like it because it's less of a show. And I think a lot of churches, and I've been to a mega church, so I didn't particularly have an issue with it, but it does carry a little bit of the entertainer part of it, where it becomes he's on stage now.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him until now.
Here he is.
There's a bit of a celebrity aspect to it, which I don't like.
It's gross. I have an allergic reaction to that. Most of my church experience has been in like mega church settings. And let me just say, I've worked with incredible guys.
Yeah.
Like I've worked with incredible guys in those settings. And so while I have strong opinions about like the modern evangelical mega church thing, I do have strong opinions about that. I typically try to remain like as graceful as I can with the guys that I worked with, because they're good dudes who love their families. And it's like a conversation I had with you where I was looking at some of your Instagram comments and I was like, how do you deal with so much like positive feedback all the time? Like,
Just
yeah, I've since seen other comments that are different.
You're not always so kind.
Yeah, that aren't the best. But yeah, I try to hold a lot of grace for those guys.
Some of it may be, there might be a deeper layer that we're looking at pessimistically now. Think about it, where some of it might not be them trying to create the celebrity and the arrival moment thing, and a lot of it could be the understanding that a lot of people in the audience have that view already. So instead of being there and being a distraction, and it being, they're out and about and everyone is just like looking at them and focusing on them, it could be part of that as well.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing of what I said to you is like, you're just Danny to me.
Yeah.
Like I met you one time.
I'm barely even that to me.
I met you one time at Bogey's before for like a minute. I thought the hat you were wearing was stupid.
I don't remember.
It was like a broad brim hat with a feather in it.
Oh yeah, that one is stupid.
That's stupid.
I've gotten rid of it.
Yeah. And I was like, well, he seems like a cool guy, But
you could tell by that very cool guy hat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But you were just Danny to me, But there's other people like on your Idiots podcast. You did the text thing, and some people are like, "Hi, Danny, what's up? Like you're the most." And it's like just pouring admiration and compliments on you.
Yeah.
And so some of that, yes, some of that is to maybe to if you're a communicator at a very large church, and I have nothing against large churches. When I say mega church, I don't mean like I don't necessarily
It's not large church.
I'm not talking about. The critique that the opinions that I have about mega churches that are that are negative, that I think are worth criticizing, has nothing to do with the amount of people that are there. It's the machine that exists there. And that's part of, even when we started Wellspring, it's like this. It's kind of an experiment.
Is that why you're not a mega church? You didn't do the mega church thing?
Yeah. Also, it takes millions of dollars to do that kind of thing, and I don't currently have that laying around, but I am playing a lot of Powerball.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to win. But the
Corey will teach you his new gambling technique.
Yeah, right.
We took everyone's tithings and
No, some of that is just to protect their own heart. And interactions with other people. Yeah. So yeah, not to be
that can be a whirlwind. And I know it's a very different thing, and you kind of have to give a lot more to it. But me doing the meet and greet things, which I don't like doing now, not because.
Well, it's just because you're a jerk and you don't like the fans.
It's not as much of that as people assume it is. I'm not a hyper social person. I'm not as much of an extrovert as people think I am. But there is. Name drop. I was talking to our buddy Teddy Swims about it, and he doesn't do them anymore. And I was like, "Why'd you stop doing them?" He was like, "It's too much emotionally." He's like, "I can't function after, because you meet one person and they're so excited and high energy and they're so happy to be there, and like that's awesome when you match that energy. And then the next person, it's like someone someone close to them just died, and the music was really important to them, and then it's, you're matching that energy. The next person's all excited, and the next, and it's just that up and down and up. You can't then get into it.
Yeah. Well, and honestly,
because you're exhausted emotionally.
Yeah. And honestly, like there is an aspect of that that happens with church if you're a pastor, but you kind of signed up for that.
Yes, it's a different. You have a different obligation.
No matter what size you are, like there's been Sundays where I get done teaching and someone's like, "That was absolutely incredible. Like I just needed to hear that. Thank you so much. That was great. Like I'm so happy." And then you're standing there after talking to somebody and they're like, "Hey man, can I talk to you for a second? Like I just need someone to pray for me." Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's going on?" And then it's a heart-wrenching, like I was reminded last week, actually, you have no idea what people are actually going through. No. Like people are really good at putting on a mask, like, and just moving forward and going through life. And the part of that is like is admirable. You know, there's terrible, heartbreaking situations that you're going through, but you're still showing up for the people in your life, and you're still doing the best that you can, and that's really admirable. And the danger in that sometimes is like you just ignore what's going on,
because I think
things become plastic.
Most of the time, that is what you have to do, and it's the right thing to do. You just have to know where and when and how to shut that down, and like be in it.
Yeah.
Be in it and face it. I think that's hopefully the beautiful thing people find in church and having their communities is like, this is where you can take that off now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and sometimes like the Sunday afternoon, like by the time I get to my house, like I just don't want to talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, did that take a lot out of you? It's like, yeah, maybe, but I really just need like, I need to recoup for a second, because there's just the ups and downs that you're dealing with people. And like I said, like you just don't know sometimes. There's one person in particular that's come to mind that like I had no idea some of the situations that this person was dealing with. And it just I don't know, it just you have interactions with people and sometimes they just hit you a little different. And I remember that was just like a really humbling moment I had by myself after this interaction. It was actually at a house church, which is a little bit more laid back anyway. I had this interaction with a person, and after it was done at house church, we break bread together, we have a meal, and then we take the Lord's Supper together, and then sometimes we dive into some scripture to try to encourage each other, and we pray together. But afterward, it was just one of those things. It was just a really humbling experience for me, because I was like, man, I had no idea that this person was dealing with all that, and I really admired them for how they're leading their life and what they're doing. But it was nice to be able to, like what you were saying, provide that environment for them to be able to go, like, this is actually something that that I'm not excited to share that this is going on with me, but I'm willing to let you see this part of me. And being able to speak life to that was one of those things where it's hard, but like I love being a pastor.
Yeah.
Like I love it. Like, which is really interesting, because for a while, I didn't want to lead with it when I introduced myself to people. I didn't want to lead with like, "Hey, I'm a pastor." I didn't like doing that, because
some people's guard goes right up.
Yeah, I like meeting a real version of a person, and we're in Pensacola, Florida, which is the buckle of the Bible Belt. It's insane that I started a church in Pensacola, Florida, because in our community, in our county, we have more churches per capita than anywhere else in the world.
Really?
Yeah. We have more churches per capita in Escambia County than anywhere else in the world. And so that lets me know a couple things. One, we also have more de-churched people per capita than any part of the world. And we have more church hurt people per capita than any part of the world. And so I've had some conversations with people, and they're like, "Why would you start a church in Pensacola? Like, they got it. There's plenty of them. There's big ones. There's a bunch of them." And it's like, yeah, but there's like, I can't tell you the amount of people that I meet that they used to believe, or they still believe, but they don't know what to do with their faith now because they've walked away from it, and maybe they have some regrets or maybe they have some reservations, and maybe those reservations are for a really good reason.
Yeah.
And it's just it's one of those things. Like I love being a pastor. I love meeting the authentic version of a person. And so in Pensacola, if you're like, yeah, I'm a pastor, like they're like, oh, hey, sorry, I said all that stuff, and they'll immediately change their personality. Yeah. And I was like, don't do that, don't do that. And so I used to not really want to lead with that, and part of that was I'd like to say it's like, oh, I want to meet the authentic version of them, but there was also a large part of that was like, I just don't want them to judge me.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. That's like the dumbest thing ever.
It's human nature.
Yeah, but it's still dumb.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing. That's
I can't think of many smart things with the human nature. Yeah, right. It's kind of a blanket excuse for most of the bad things we do.
Right. Yeah. But so that's one of those things where like, I love being a pastor, and I'm a lot more open about it now. And one of the things that's funny is when I do introduce myself and they're like, oh, I'm a pastor, they're like, you're a pastor? And I'm like, believe it or not, I didn't say I was a good one. I didn't say I was a good one. I'm definitely not like if you were going to,
you're going to draw one.
Yeah, if you're going to draw one, it wouldn't be me. So they're like, you're a pastor? Or they're like, when we started the church, they're like, so are you, like, you're the youth pastor though, right? Like you're the,
like if the pastor heard you say that, he wouldn't be cool with it.
Yeah. Like he'd be like, well, he's actually one of the guys here. They're like, oh no, you're the pastor.
You like welcome people.
Yeah.
Like like you do the parking.
I'm the parking lot pastor.
Parking pastor.
Yeah, I'm the parking lot pastor. Yeah, no, it's like, no, I'm the pastor. It's not like the pastor, and I'm like, the pastor. Actually, believe it or not, yeah. It's like, who let you do that? And I was like, well, no one stopped me yet. So
there wasn't a pastor. So
there wasn't one. Yeah. There wasn't a pastor in my living room. So I started it there. Yeah. No, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I that's a part of me that's even like grown into it. And so that's even as I realize that about myself, it's one of those things where I understand when people aren't vocal about their faith. Like they're not the most vocal person about it, or they don't wear t-shirts that say Jesus is King on it or something like that. And when I see people that do that, I'm like, well, I admire you for doing that. Like for someone like you who has the platform that you have, like I think it's much harder for you.
I saw a great analogy. That's why I do it. Because at first, and when the journey started, people kind of think it came out of nowhere and recently, but I saw something.
Yeah, Danny just came to the Lord in the parking lot 3 weeks ago.
Parking lot pastor got me. No, I remember the day it changed, and it was an analogy that just hit home so hard. And it was to believe what we believe. If you saw someone in the street and they were stood in the street and there was a bus coming, and you know there's a bus coming, how many times would you tell them to move before the bus hit them? And if at some point they just kept saying, there isn't a bus coming, and you know the bus is coming, at some point you have to make a decision. Are you going to push them out of the way of the bus or watch them get hit?
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times, like,
and it seems like as far as religion goes, I understand what the sentiment people are putting forward when it's don't be pushy about it, keep it to yourself. I understand the sentiment there, and I don't think they're speaking from a bad place. But at the same time, we know what's coming, and if we don't, your blood's on our hands.
Yeah. Well, and even it's not just like the threat of eternal punishment, right? That's how a lot of people, like the bus that they imagine is like the threat of like being punished for all eternity. And that's a whole conversation to have. But it's also like there is such a rich and satisfying life that is offered to you from Jesus. And I don't want anybody to think that like, oh, I experience that every moment of every day, but I do get glimpses of it.
Yeah.
And when I do, it's like, whew.
You don't need a lot of it, and you don't need it often.
Yeah. but it's
that
like,
little hit.
Yeah, you're like, wow,
Worth it.
yeah, this is what peace actually is.
Yeah. We're also going to do the scheduled part of the show where I say something that's possibly incorrect and blasphemous, which is we don't know we'll say hell side. We don't know what the hell side of this actually looks like. To my very limited understanding, or at least theorizing, I imagine much worse than going into a fiery pit and being tortured by demons for forever. I think much worse than that would be dying, seeing that it's real, and then be like, cool, the lights go out now.
Yeah.
Nothing. You're not getting tortured.
Yeah.
But that moment would be worse than anything that hell could possibly throw at you. Knowing it's real, knowing that love was real, knowing that such a strong desire from God for you to be there, and it was such minimal effort on your part to accept it, knowing that all of that was real, and then lights go out. That would be worse. So it's less about like pushing you out from in front of the bus because I don't want to go to hell. It's I want you to experience heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even keeping you away from the bad place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you into the good place.
Which I think is not remotely blasphemous, what you said. I think that's
Hope not.
I think that's much more like the heart of Jesus in the scriptures. I think that's much more the story that is revealed in the New Testament. Isn't like, oh, you don't want to go to that nasty old place with that old dirty devil, do you?
We don't even know if that's real.
It's like, well, and there's lots
gnashing of teeth. When I first read that was like, you're getting chewed on. And after more understanding, it's like, that's grumbling and groaning. That's
Yeah. If people ask me about hell, and it's like, I don't know, I've never been there, but but I've experienced a lot of bad things in my life, and so
you never been to Ohio?
Needless, I have. I think Illinois.
I spent some time in Flint, Michigan.
I think Illinois might be worse, but it's just an empty Alani can, not a sponsor.
I put this down here and heard the can drop on the floor. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah, not a sponsor. Could be, but not
possibly you.
Yeah. But it's missing out on life.
Yeah,
like, and the problem is, like, I think it was C.S. Lewis that said like the doors to heaven are locked from the inside. Like it's one of those things of the realization of you just didn't want this.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe you didn't believe it was real. Well, obviously you didn't believe it was real. You didn't believe it was for you. You thought you could figure it out on your own, and you missed it. And I think the problem is I don't think you actually have to threaten people with like the threat of eternal punishment. Like I don't think that that's very effective. I think guilt sometimes is a good motivator, but I don't think the threat of eternal punishment is the correct presentation.
Yeah,
I think
framing it wrong.
Yeah, I think the correct frame is for God so loved the world.
Yeah,
like that he gave his only son. That whoever, doesn't matter. But what if I? But what if they? But doesn't matter. Whoever believes won't perish.
We know
like you'll have everlasting life.
The funny part is we know how to teach that exact same message to children.
Yeah.
Where you don't go, if you don't clean your room, you have to sit in your room all day.
Yeah.
You don't say that. It's if you don't clean your room, you don't get to go to the game.
Yeah, right.
Tell them they don't get to go to the good thing.
Yeah.
Don't tell them the punishment. Tell them the good thing. They don't. They want that.
Yeah.
That's the good thing.
I have 4 kids. The better motivator is not I'm going to punish you.
Yeah.
Really, and it's going to be really bad if you don't do this. It's
take away the thing they want.
Here's this really great thing that we're not going to be able to do now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, okay, I'll do that. Moves children. It moves people more than like, well, you don't want to go to that dirty hell. That's a hot place. You don't want to do that. It's like, I get that, and I understand the scripture say, and I understand that you're not wrong. There are different interpretations that all fall into Orthodox Christian belief of what actually happens if you reject Christ at the end of your life. And that's not what this podcast is about. But I think it's one of my favorite parts about the last podcast we did was when you were talking about you reading the scriptures for the first time, and like we clipped it, and it was the end of it of you
I
going
look
like,
so profound when you just clip a little bit of what I say.
I know, yeah. Me too, bro. Me too. Sermon clips are great, dude. I look really good in clips. And then you go and listen, like to anybody who like saw the clip and then went to go listen to the whole message, I apologize. I clipped some of the best
The whole
parts.
podcast is just out of context clips.
Yeah,
Oh, these guys are real deep. I want to hear the
100%.
rest of what they say.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
No, but you ended with being like, no, I'm happier and better for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, dude, that's
Infinitely.
yeah, that was the word you used. And like, that's the reality. Like that's real. And it's cool when you meet people who really do experience that and they are willing to share that. And so, yeah, to circle back with me not like pushing out that I'm a huge I'm a pastor, blah, 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 I do all that stuff all the time. It's like, I get it if you don't talk about it. I understand. I don't want to shame anybody for not doing that. I understand. But that's just, I was just afraid of what people would think. And that's stupid. It's stupid. Like people think good things about you, and the same people that think good things about you will think bad things about you a day later.
They better, or it's not genuine.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So yeah, doing anything for that reason is dumb. That doesn't mean that I don't do it.
Yeah.
But it's dumb when I do. But
The growth is catching ourselves.
yeah. Yeah. Which
Because I used to do dumb stuff and never think about it.
Right.
It was just, that was then a thing that happened,
Right.
and it was gone. A
Yeah.
moment's left. And now it's like, I think the growth, you notice the growth when it's like, the quicker you realize.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the funny thing about like there's a word that gets thrown around at church. I use it, repentance. And I used to, when you hear that word, a lot of times you're like, wow, that's a scary word. It's a big, scary church word. It's really not. Like, I repent a lot. It's just changing your mind and realizing like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. That was bad. That was wrong. That was how I reacted there was wrong. And identifying that and going, I really don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And then the only hard part about repentance, I don't think the hard part about repentance is the conversation that you have with God, because he's not like, oh my me.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? He's not shocked by it. It's okay, if I've done something wrong to a person, if I was too harsh with a person, or I was out of line with what I said, or I belittled that person for no reason. Like the hard part is, okay, so am I gonna follow up with that person and go, hey, so I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. Like that's the only hard part about repenting.
It sucks. I had a moment yesterday, and everybody in the world can relate to this, because I had to call Verizon. And I was on with their, first off, it's so hard to get anyone even on the phone now that isn't a robot.
Yeah.
And I eventually talked to them, and she was all bubbly, and I'd already talked to a robot for so long. And for the past couple months, every interaction I've had with the help center people has been a nightmare. So I already go into it with like, I'm going to war right now. I'm prepared for war. I'm irritated. I don't want to have to do this. You're going to make me jump through a bunch of hoops. I haven't spoken a word yet. And we get digging into it, and she stops and she goes, I'm sorry, I completely forgot to ask, how's your day going? And I just went, fine. And then there was a silence, and then she just kept going. And as soon as she started talking again, I was just like, that was a test, and I failed test horribly. And I had to, like, through the rest of the conversation, find, like, an appropriate point to just be like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't enjoy doing these. I'm sorry. Is your day going good? I'm sorry. You're being incredible. You're actually being very, very helpful. I'm very appreciative.
Yeah.
But as soon as I did it, it was like an instant,
Yeah.
I suck.
So
She was so nice.
I did that exact thing, unfortunately, with our.
This wasn't even a stranger.
This is no. It was, but it was for one of the softwares we use at the church, and so it's a company, and what they do is they like have this software that churches use all over the place, and I was having to deal with a robot, and then I was having to deal with someone that I was pretty sure was a robot again, even though they said they weren't a robot.
Yeah.
And I was not kind. I was not. And
Listen here, robot.
and then what they did is they sent me a transcript of our conversation. And so I had to read me being a total jerk to this poor person who's like,
no.
yeah, we're just here to serve churches. And I'm just like a total jerk to this person.
That's a jerk move on their part as well, to send you the transcript. Like, hey,
it's like, oh no.
we're going to make you face everything you just said.
I was just trying to get, and honestly, it's probably not their software. It's just me not knowing how to use it. And I was just such a jerk to them.
They just showed it to you.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Hey, just to follow up, here's our conversation, just so you know everything,
everything you said,
everything that went on." Yeah, and I had to read it, and I was like, "Oh no!" And because there might have been some of the messages that you were like, because in text messages we even talked about this before. In emails or text messages, you can't always get the tone.
No.
And so there might have been some things in the transcript that you're reading that you're like, oh, maybe that wasn't bad. It's like, no, I know how I said that.
If you read that in different inflections, that could be different.
It's like, no, I said that the worst way.
You stupid robot.
I said that the worst possible way.
I'm going to unplug you.
No, unfortunately, it wasn't a robot I was talking to. His name was Zach. Zach, I apologize if you see this. I was wrong, but I'm not going to probably be able to find you. But I'll reply to that email after this and say, I apologize, Robot Zach, if you are a robot or not. Whether you're a robot or not, I apologize for how I treated you.
I am so polite to AI.
Yeah, there you go.
Olivia saw her from my shoulder the other day. I was talking to ChatGPT about something. I use it to summarize things and all that stuff because I don't have an assistant. And she was like, did you just tell ChatGPT great job? I was like, I'm really polite to it. Like,
yeah.
The only part is like I have to cut it off at some point and ghost it because it won't let you end a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, great job. That's all for now. Awesome. Well, and then it'll just keep going.
If you want, I can keep on doing this.
It can't read a room.
It can never.
When you're out staying, you're welcome.
No, you should be nice.
I'm real polite to it.
You should be nice. It's easy to be nice to AI because it is so agreeable.
Yeah.
But also it might end up being our robot overlords, and so I would like there to be a record that I'm polite to
on
it.
the nice list.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I want to. This guy made it on the good list. I don't want any videos of me kicking my Roomba or anything
Santa
like
was
that out
just
there.
Training for AI.
Right.
There's a naughty list and a nice list.
Yeah.
And you're not getting coal.
Yeah, right.
Nope, the robot dogs are coming to get you first.
Yeah, for sure. Boston Dynamics. What are you doing? What are you doing? It was like the other day I saw that they in Ukraine they were using like straight up AI drones.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
It is.
And they called them Terminators. And I was like, have you not seen... What did we do?
You have to have seen the movie. You called it the name.
Did you do this on purpose? What are you doing?
Also, how are you going to argue any human rights violations? You called it Terminator.
Right. Well, that could turn into a dark conversation, which we
came out with our new gun, the Human Killer. Yeah. It's just for hunting.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't think it is.
Did you name it Human Killer? These are our meat missiles. What? Why would you do that? Yeah, for sure. But anyways, yeah. So Sunday, to circle back around, yeah, we've been teaching through Romans, and this past weekend was a really heavy. The last 3 chapters we've been in Romans have been like deep into the theological pool for sure, but it's easy to zero in on different theological issues and have big controversial conversations about it and miss the message that's actually being communicated to it. And it's that like God is always faithful.
Yeah.
Even when you're not, which is all the time, like, which is 99% of the time. Like he's always faithful, and especially with like timing things, the timing of everything. And you and I have discussed this before. Like your life has just been incredibly smooth and perfect timing on everything, and you've never messed it up.
Yeah, I'm the exception to the rule.
Yeah, right. But it feels that way a lot of times when
It doesn't.
when you're. It doesn't. No, it feels like I have a script that I want to live my life by.
Yeah.
And I have what I think is a perfect plan for how something should go. And it just so rarely actually goes that way. And you can get really frustrated, really disappointed. And when the script goes really off course and you don't understand why a certain event happened or a certain thing just isn't working out, it's easy a lot of times to feel forgotten, feel like, is this even real? Like my mind goes, people would probably be disappointed in me being their pastor if they knew how often I was like, I don't know. This might be real for everyone else but me. Like I don't know if this is true. Like how God actually works everything for good, and God is actually working behind the scenes. But it's in the moment when you feel forgotten, it's easy to lean into that. But it's so wild to me how I think one of the things that I said was basically like the idea of the chapter that you're currently in isn't the end of the story.
No.
And it's so easy to feel like it's when things go off script. It's like, well, this is just the end of the story then. Yeah.
This is only useful depending on how your mind and nature is with these things. But the funny part is the kind of ironic flip of that is that feeling is, although it feels like the exact opposite of it, that moment's probably the most pure form of pride that there is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, I'm forgotten and that kind of doesn't apply to me. It's like, oh, you're special.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody thinks that they're the exception.
Yeah.
Everybody does, pastors included.
Because I am so good at giving other people advice because I can take a step back and look at the bigger picture and be like, well, I know you fix it on this right now, but that's kind of a really small piece of this really big picture.
Yeah, right.
It's impossible in mine because I don't have a bigger picture and I'm just in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like giving advice is easy a lot of times. Following your advice is really difficult.
I've always said, like, I need a me, but I won't listen to him because I know better.
Yeah. I don't want to listen.
Like, I'm really good at giving. I wish I had someone who's good at giving advice, but it would be completely wasted.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a really, really good friend of mine is a consultant and does a bunch of business consulting and has recently been really spending time like working with me personally. And it is so funny how many conversations we'll have where he'll reference, hey, didn't I hear you say once? And I'm like, don't do that. It's the worst. Don't do that. And it's really funny because even in with what he does with being a business consultant, like he'll be like, oh yeah, I give guys great advice. And he was sharing a story about the other day, it was his wife. They were talking about something, and she was like, sounds like you should follow some of your own advice. And it's like, oh, that's the worst.
I was thinking about it a couple days ago, and it's the best thing someone could do for me in advice would be, like, if I started up like a consulting thing, would be someone in my life just creating a fake business and sending the request in, and they just describe whatever my thing is I'm going through to me, because I'll fix it.
Yeah.
I cannot figure it out for myself, but I'll fix it for them, and then they just forward it to me and go, that was me, and I'll just describe to you.
Yeah. And you're like, oh.
This is what you should do.
Yeah, this is what you should do, by the way.
Smart guy told me.
Yeah, that's funny. No, but it's one of those things like I want things to line up perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, because in my head they do. They do. But I forget so often like how limited my perspective is. Like my perspective is so small. And so the story that I'm writing is actually a very boring story. Like the story that you're writing for your life is a boring story. It's a bad story. Like no one would ever make a movie out of that. Like the plan that I have, no one would ever want to watch that as a TV series or a movie or read it as a book. No one would want that at all because it's just everything's great all the time and good. And you're like, well, that's boring. I don't want to read that.
It's
I don't
only
want to watch
fun
that.
for the main character.
Yeah. That seems like a terrible story. But the reality is like God is just telling a really, really interesting story.
Yeah.
Like a really big throughout history. He's telling a really, really good story. And the problem is that it takes twists and turns that me as a character, I don't love that twist. I don't love that. I don't love the direction that this is going at the moment. But those are really interesting stories.
Yeah.
And
they're necessary. You need them for the character development and for the arc. And I think if we imagined our life as a movie and we're just watching this character that is us, is we want those parts to happen because we know they're important. We just don't like doing them.
Yeah. So there's a verse in Hebrews where it refers to God as the author and the finisher of our faith. And so those are interesting terms to think about God in. Two reasons. One, the author, like he's writing this really interesting story. There are going to be twists and turns that you wouldn't pick, but the story that I would write is boring, dumb. Like it's sunshine and rainbows. It's not a story that anybody would that I would ever be interested in. But he's not just the author; he's also the finisher of it. And so this process that I'm in, this process that you're in, it's like I don't like the turn this is going. And I want to blame the author because I just see him as the author, but I haven't seen him as the finisher.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the story is going somewhere. Like, and ultimately, if you read the book, you know you get a glimpse of how it all ends, and it's a good ending.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a really great,
You love the ending.
yeah, it's the best ending.
Really good for you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the best ending that you could imagine.
There's also, we have, understandably, because we're in it and we can only see through our own eyes, we go about our lives as the main character.
Mm-hmm.
We are just a character.
Yeah.
And the story we'd write for ourselves, sure, it's like, well, it just goes really smooth for that character.
Mm-hmm.
But if you peel back the layers of that, it's probably a really dark, evil movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because for everything to go perfect for you the whole way through,
Yeah.
it's got to go really wrong for a lot of people.
Yeah, it has to go wrong for everyone else.
So many.
I haven't even thought about that.
99.9999999% of every other person within that story has to really eat it in order for things to go your way.
Your story ends. Your story that you're telling is like, first of all, really boring.
Yeah.
And it might seem good for you, but it's awful for everyone.
Yeah, and it's
I haven't thought
equally as
about
bad of a movie from their end watching it because it's like there's just this one guy who ruins things for everybody. That's the devil.
That's awesome.
Because he gets his way all the time and everybody else suffers.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good connection. Yeah, I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, that's really funny.
He's writing a movie. We're in it.
Yeah.
We aren't the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's like a handful of like realities that exist, like that are just spiritual realities, and I love that term because like if it's a spiritual reality, it actually doesn't matter what you think about it.
No.
Because it's just the reality, and one of them is that God is telling a big story, and He's chosen you for a part in that story. You don't get to choose what the part is. But He's chosen you for a part in that story.
The lead role's taken.
Yeah, lead role's taken. Yeah.
He's writing and starring in this film.
Which, by the way, didn't go great for him. Didn't go great for him the whole time. There was a really, really bad part in it. But the reality is that God is telling a giant story, and He's chosen you for a part in that story. And the part that you're playing, like, you have to find it.
Yeah.
No one is going to find it for you. Like, no one gets to find your part in this story for you. You're the one that's living the story. Like you're living, you have that part to play. And if you don't find it, no one else does for you. And like that can be scary for people. And the other reality in that is, by the way, the whole time evil is hunting you. Like and what's so cool about like these spiritual realities that exist is that every good story that you know is mirrored. Like they just mirror these same realities. It's like, yeah, there's a big story being told. You have a part to play in it. If you don't find it, no one else does. Evil is hunting you. And for some people, when they hear that, it's either scary or, for me, when I hear that, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, ooh, that sounds interesting. Like
I'm an action hero.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think about the Terminator. Yeah. Like we've been talking about that. There's a line in it's Terminator, the original Terminator, where he's describing what this robot is, and he says he never eats, he never sleeps, he just keeps on coming and coming and coming till you're dead.
Yeah. He only takes breaks to answer Verizon customer service calls.
Right. Yeah. Like evil's hunting you. That's a reality. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. But like there is a group of people, like whether you think of it as like in the Lord of the Rings, it's a fellowship, like, or whatever. What's another epic story?
Name any movie.
Yeah. Star Wars. There's people around the main, this character, like Luke, the main guy. There's people around this that come around him to help you fulfill that role in the story, like to help spur you on and push you to finish your story. And it's like, those are just realities.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter how you feel about it. That's just the way it is.
It's like every interaction is an opportunity for you to assume that role.
Right.
Not just the ones that look cool and it's like, there's an open door. I'm going to run through it.
Right, yeah.
There's accolades and a bag of money there for me. Everyone's going to celebrate me. Talk about how cool I am. I have arrived.
Yeah.
It's also the rude customer, the annoying customer service person. This is your opportunity to be that person that you claim to be.
It's the...
You were so good on Sunday, and now it's Tuesday, and you're talking to Verizon. How nice are you?
Yeah.
How much have you changed? You just talked about it.
It's the interactions that you have when you come home from work, and you're like, what is this going to be like? Mm-hmm. And those seem mundane, and it's like, if you treat them like they're mundane, you're going to miss your part in the story. Like, you're going to miss out on the story. And I feel like there's been plenty of seasons in my life where I've missed the plot because I want my own way. I want everything for me. I want to be important, and I'm just missing the plot. And it's like, man, that is not remotely the life that Jesus offers us when he says, like, I've come to give you life and an abundant one. Like, and I think that means accolades and all that stuff. And it's like, no, man, it's the look in someone's eye when you're kind to them and they get a glimpse of like, oh, that might be what love is. Oh, that might be what hope is. And it's like those interactions where you're like, oh, there's something special there that if I'm just cruising or if I'm upset about where I am in the plot or I'm missing the plot altogether, like I've missed it. And it's like, that's not life, man.
There's also, and I have a somewhat unique ability to speak on this part of it, where a lot of people, they have that plan. It's supposed to be the accolades and the success or whatever it is. That only looks so shiny from the outside. There's the other side of that just comes with its own set of problems, and it isn't that shiny. It just looks like it from outside.
Of course.
Where it's like, yeah, I was supposed to get the accolades and all the celebration, and I've had a lot of it.
Yeah.
And the flip side of that is if you have a bunch of people cheering for you, you have a large, possibly even greater amount who are really rooting for your downfall.
Yeah. It's one of the things that is, and I feel like people do know this to be true, even though it doesn't always feel true. But I don't care what level of success you're at or you have or you're aspiring to. Like I've had the opportunity to meet some successful people, like crazy successful people, and people that have notoriety or fame or whatever it is. And when you have a real conversation with them, it's like, oh, you're just like me though.
Yeah.
Like you 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 have a lot more to lose than I do, but you're just dealing with the same thing.
It's just different stuff to lose.
Yeah, yeah. It's not even that it's like so much more. It's just different. It's like I've had conversations with. I had a conversation with a person last week where if you compared us on paper, this person, they probably have none of the same problems. You would never think that this person has any of the same problems that I would have or that I would deal with. But we have a real conversation, and it's like, oh, you're just dealing with the same exact thing that I'm dealing with. Yours just looks a little different, but it's the exact same thing. And it's because it's like, well, they're also just a person.
Yeah.
They're also just a human.
I've met, I think, a grand total of 2, maybe 3 people ever where I'm like, oh, you're a different thing. But for the for the most part, it doesn't matter how high up the ladder you go. The ladder of just, earthly perception of value. Doesn't matter how high up that ladder you go. It's just people.
Yeah.
It's just people, and just more people know them.
Yeah.
Or at least know
Of them.
the version of them that's been put out.
Yeah, that version.
A couple people are just they're just different human beings.
Yeah, and it just turns out, like, guess what? You have a deep desire to belong somewhere, and you don't feel like you do. Or you have a deep desire to have an impact, and people would go, well, of course you are. But you're like, yeah, but not the one that I really am longing for. Or I have a deep desire to hear well done. And it's like, okay, well, I'll tell you you're doing a good job. And you're like, no, it doesn't matter if you say I'm doing a good job.
Ironically, regardless of whatever celebration comes from fame or any of those accolade things, at the end of it, it feels so much better. Either hearing that from a person you know and love, or moments where it's not about you at all and you get to do something for someone, so very often completely thankless things, even better.
Yeah.
And there's the selfish part. Even better if they don't even know.
Yeah.
You get to do something for someone, and then they voice thanks or appreciation for it, and they don't even know it was you.
Yeah.
And you go, that scratches that itch way better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just how, like, that is such a universal common denominator with everyone. You're like, well, obviously we're wired that way because I think it reveals the image of God in us.
Yeah.
Like, I have a deep desire for impact or to be significant or to belong or to provide or to, name it, those deep things that we all desire. And all of us have one that's like a little deeper than some of the other ones. But it's like, obviously we're all wired this way. It's like, well, that reveals the image of God in us.
Yeah.
Like we were created that way. And there's only one place that's really going to scratch that itch. It's like if I want to be significant, if I want respect, right? Like, that's a deep desire that a lot of people have. It's like, I want to be respected. It's like, okay, cool. I can present myself, or I could fight for Danny to respect me. And I could do certain things to, like, maybe he'll respect me. I'll present myself like this, or I'll do X, Y, Z. And if you don't automatically respect me, then maybe I'll treat you in a way that you know that you should respect me. It's like, I could do that, spend a lot of energy doing that, and get nowhere from it, or I can wring respect out of you finally, and that doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah, respect and submission.
Yeah. Or
from the outside, it might look similar, but
yeah, or I could fight to know that, like, take one part of the story, take where Jesus is born in a barn. And so you're telling me the king of the universe steps into history at arguably one of the worst times in history and is born in a barn to save his people from their sins. And like in that one act of going, I'm the king of the universe and I'm going to go be born in a barn. In that one act, he showed me more respect than I could taste if I lived 100 lifetimes. And so I would rather fight to know that and really have that itch scratch, really have that sense of like, I don't have to fight for respect from Danny. Like the God of the universe has shown me more respect than I could ever get my mind and heart wrapped around. That's a much more satisfying life.
Yeah.
And like that's what the scriptures teach. Like it's not this, go and hustle and get respect or get significance or get whatever it is. Like fight for it all you want to. Like you're fighting the wrong battle the wrong way. Like fight to know that. Fight to know that like God, when he looks at you, he says, you're my son who I love, in whom I'm well pleased. It's like, well, that's it. I would rather fight to know that.
Yeah.
And let that meet those deep desires that I have than to fight for it from you, because you'll give it to me for a second and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to not feel respected or not feel significant or
now you get it from someone else.
Here's this mundane thing. Yeah, I got to get it from someone else and someone else and someone else. And then it's like, dude, that's what...
The hole keeps emptying.
Yeah, that's the rat race, dude. That's like what everybody experiences. And that's when it's like, well, I either got to fake or fail or this is it. This is all life is. And yeah, there's no life down that road.
I think when you dig into it, every single one of those probably boils down to we just want to help people. And we try and force it on people. And we're trying to manifest it in all these different ways. But we're getting too hooked on being told that it worked and that we did it, which is the celebration.
Yeah.
And the credit.
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
Because I think even for
I'm
those
great.
hyper egotistical people or whoever it is in the celebrity or political stratosphere where it's like, it's all about them. I think they're just looking for the validation of like, no, you helped people. You did that. You did it. And they're looking for that external, like, yeah, you help people. And the byproduct of that is they're helping no one.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to get that reaction.
Yeah. And then even on the flip side, like that's the reason why you can be so critical of people is because it makes you feel good.
Yeah. I would have done it differently. If you listen to me.
Yeah. Or I'm glad I'm not like that at all.
I would never.
It's like, yes, I am. I'm exactly like that. I do all the same stupid things all the time. But it's okay seeing that and go on like, okay, well, like what we talked about last time. What's one area where I can at least make a little bit of progress? Like I can be a little bit better in this area. I'm not going to be better all at once.
Yeah.
I'm not going to if the goal is perfection, I'm forever away from it. And why bother trying? But if God is the author and the finisher, I can trust him with the process and go, okay, nothing can separate me from his love. I blew it 1,000 ways, but here's this one where I didn't, and I made some progress here. And that's okay, because tomorrow I'm going to go again. Like I'm going to try again, or here's another interaction again where I can, keep going. Like that's the thing is, like with the things not lining up and my version of the story and everything that I want to go my certain way, when it doesn't, it's just easy to hang it up and go, well, this is the end of the story then.
Yeah, well, can't do it.
This is the last chapter. This is done. That's over. What's something else that'll interest me or entertain me? It's like, but yeah, what if the whole thing is just keep going?
Yeah.
Like keep moving, keep going. Do not stop. Like that's where
you are Rocky. Shut up. Punch the meat.
Yeah. Keep punching the meat, bro.
That new movie does look incredible. Have you seen the trailer?
No, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be so good. Yeah,
we should get a church shirt. This is keep punching the meat.
Keep punching the meat. Get at the merch table.
Gross.
No, I had a saying, a 2-part saying that I live by, and the human part of me likes to think I came up with it, but I'm not quite that profound. And it was, you don't need to know the plan to trust the process. You don't need to know the destination to follow the directions. And I think ultimately that's all we can do, is to just keep one foot in front of the other. I'm stupid. So I regularly, in my prayers, it's, hey, I need you to keep the light on the next step really bright. Because I'm easily distracted by shiny things, and I'll see something over there that kind of looks like a light, and I'll go look at what that is. Just keep, I don't expect you to just light up the whole path, but that next step, I just need you to keep that really bright for me. I'm happy to keep walking. I want to keep walking on the path you have for me. Just keep that next step real bright, and I'll take it, because then I'll know it's there.
Yeah, that's a great. I don't need to know the plan to trust the process. What was the second part?
I don't need to know the destination to follow the directions.
And I don't need to know the destination to
follow the directions.
That's it, dude. That's great.
He feeds me some so cool stuff sometimes.
That's great. That is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he'll make your path straight. Like, okay. The great thing about that is, so people misinterpret that idea when they're like, well, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in every way. He'll make your path straight. So great. Like, then my growth will be straight and my life will be straight. It's like, well,
you said straight, not flat.
Well, it's also, what's the next step? Guess what? That's straight.
Yeah.
Like, any direction you go, when you just take one step, it always feels straight.
Yeah.
Like, it might go this way, but if it's trending up, it doesn't matter if it's up or down or whatever. Like, guess what? It feels straight when you just take the next step. Mm-hmm. It's always straight. Yeah,
if anyone's climbed a mountain before, I haven't, but I've seen them, a lot of them. They are not, unlike how it looks in a photograph, they are not that. It's a lot of this
right.
to get to the top of a mountain. And sometimes it feels like you're going down.
Yeah.
And technically you are.
Yeah, yeah. But keep going. Keep going.
Because you're moving up.
Yeah. Nice, dude. That's
I
good.
do have one question.
All right.
Something of a theological question, I suppose.
Oh, boy.
And it's...
Let me give an answer, whether it's correct or not.
No, there isn't. There is a correct answer. Neither of us know it because neither of us are God.
Beautiful.
It's more of a what are your thoughts and perspectives? And I don't know if there is anything biblically that leads towards it at all. But I just saw something interesting. Do you remember why the U.S. got involved in World War One? Because I thought I did.
World War One? No, that was World War Two. No, World War One was the Lusitania.
Was it because Germany bombed the Statue of Liberty? No, because that never happened.
No.
Apparently that happened now.
What? Really?
Yeah, a bunch of people died. Germany attacked the
Statue of
Liberty. And that's why the U.S. got involved in World War One. So this leads me into the whole...
what's that thing where, like, the Fruit of the Loom isn't the really...
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
But it's that and the whole alternate timeline thing.
Uh-huh.
Because there are so many things that we all know them and remember them. Hello, Clarice.
Yeah.
Never happened. Luke, I am your father. Never said it.
Yeah.
Father. Yeah.
Yeah.
That word sounded wrong in my head.
Yeah.
Like, did I just have a stroke?
No, you're correct.
No. So the whole... And how CERN apparently have put us in a new timeline now where that happened. And I just don't know if there's like a ripple thing of breakthrough stuff or if it's just altering things of history. And I'm very confused about it, and I didn't know if you had any insights.
Well, the textbooks in America, you have time for this?
Sure.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to
There's one textbook I'm interested in particularly to take from.
Yeah. No, I have no idea. I have no idea.
I didn't know if there was anything deep in there I hadn't caught yet.
No, I think it's my perspective is really limited. Also, I learned about that probably when I was in high school, and I don't trust. I wouldn't trust anything that I remember from high school. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that stuff. CERN and the new timeline.
Yeah. The ripples through interdimensional whatever.
I don't know. That's far beyond my pay grade.
Or if it's just, the devil at work and he's altering history books.
I don't know. Maybe that's
But
probably.
then there's also, there's bigger stuff he could change, but maybe he just doesn't have power over those bits.
I don't know. If it's a textbook. One thing that's interesting is I do know textbooks are different when you go to different countries.
Yeah.
They tell the story a little bit differently from their perspective. So yeah, I don't know. I don't put a lot of trust in textbooks or media or anything like that. One thing that's funny about like the media, which is funny to rail about anyways, but Pensacola had the Blue Angels flying over. So especially with AI, this is really interesting how AI would interpret this event because it just is basing it off of headlines and things like that. The Blue Angels flew in Pensacola last week before, and they do this breakfast with the Blues thing. And there was like this, one of the pilots flew a little low, and some people it was not necessary. It was off the path that it would normally fly, and I was there. It's breakfast with the Blues, and it flew pretty low, and there was tents that were flying, and everybody was like super pumped about it. Like it was awesome. Everybody was like, woo, yelling. And then I saw a news article later, I think it was ABC News, was like, terror in the skies over Pensacola. And it was like, what? Well, I was there. What are you talking about? And they were like, you could hear people screaming. And it's like, well, they didn't play the screams, but the screams were not, the screams were, woo! Like, it was just crazy.
Scream at Shania Twain concerts.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, for sure. And it's even like they clipped an interview from a person, and she was like, yeah, I've been coming here for 10 years, and I've never seen them fly that low. And then they stopped it. And then the very next line she says in the original interview was like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. It was fantastic. But they clipped that part. And so, yeah, it'd be interesting how if somebody was writing that story or they read it later on, it would be like, oh, this was a terrifying event that happened. And those poor people. And it was like, I was there, man. Everybody was like, that was pretty exciting. That was great.
Yeah,
I was a fan of it.
They love clipping stuff out of context.
So,
Sometimes
yeah.
just make it up flat out.
Yeah. So that happens now with current events. And you want to talk about like World War I stuff? It's
Well,
like,
it was more so the.
but I mean, like, yeah. Do we remember what happened? Do we know what happened
I just
exactly?
feel like historically that
Is
was
it that?
never a thing, and then now apparently it's like super well known. Like the Shazam movie and Fruit of the Loom and Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And,
The Shazam movie you're talking about with Shaq.
but wasn't it Sinbad?
Oh, was it Sinbad?
Yeah, but the movie never existed.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Maybe it was Kazam. I don't know. There was some
It was
movie
a-
that Sinbad was
Kazam,
in, and
that's-
everyone remembers it.
Yeah.
But it never existed.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Those are questions I have no idea about.
Well,
I have no idea about.
fat little good you are.
Yeah, hey, not the first time I've heard that. All right, this is cool. We'll end it. Thanks, guys. Share this maybe. Cool or not. Bye.